I identify now.
Right? Come on. Come on.
All right. Well, we are gonna jump into some goodness because, dude, Adam, you got to check out what may be now. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's announced that it's the final project, Mr. Daniel Day-Lewis.
The final Daniel Day-Lewis performance, yes, according to him.
Wow.
And he didn't really answer any questions about it. He just says, I'm taking this last movie, and then that's all I'm really gonna say about it.
Well, I feel like
but
that's
this is a guy who's like said this before.
Industry has gone under, and he really has no fault.
This is a guy who's actually said this before. You know what I mean? It seems like every picture he does, that's his last movie. He waits like 4 or 5 years, then he's like, somebody just gives him a good script, and he comes out and does it again. This is like the artist part of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
is he waiting for like the big role to go out on, and it's just not hitting?
But it's like he wins an Oscar every time he does a picture, so that's the way to go out.
His movies, he's
right?
Great
but like that, I mean, he is that good though. I will say that. You know what I mean? His movies are events. His movies are so, particular. The craft he puts into it they're events, and it's a big deal. Well, and so you should show up.
Don't make it seem like I'm trivializing.
It does seem snobby, though.
It does. It's the big thing where he's calling his shot. I'm Babe Ruth stepping up to the plate. I'm gonna play this, and then that's it.
But why not?
The game is over after I knock out this home run.
You can't respect that, opposed to like the Hollywood guys that'll just like kind of do whatever thing for a buck.
I could the first time, maybe the second time. We're up to what, time number 18, 19 now?
Maybe. But like he's working with Paul Thomas Anderson again. This movie's called Phantom Thread. You do not like Paul Thomas Anderson, but he is my personal favorite.
I don't like him because his last few movies have promised what they have not delivered. They've promised entertainment.
See, I find that absolutely ridiculous. But
okay, I'm gonna call out the most recent, example being Inherent Vice, which is a movie I was so excited to go into. I'm like, the trailer makes this look like I'm jazzed. This movie has like 70s crime drama, but there's there's curveballs that throwing you, man. What's this lawyer doing in the mix? And then you got Joaquin Phoenix coming, fresh from his break of insanity. And Joaquin Phoenix does good work. And then I see, of all people, Brand himself, Josh Brolin.
Brolin, you got eating a chocolate banana, kind of like a...
Yeah, and I'm like, this looks weird and exciting. Owen Wilson, what's he doing? I am all in, dude. 70s like car racing and stuff.
It's a great cast.
The cast was insane. The movie was boring and confusing.
But it was exactly true to the book, which is kind of that weird, like, lost feeling of that era kind of dying out. So I think it was true to that. I don't know if you completely grasped what they were going for, and I understand that, but like I still have to disagree with you. But anyways,
the best thing that came out of that was Moto Panakeku. That's all I'll say. This has nothing to do directly with,
you're absolutely right.
Phantom Thread, but this is the person who did. But also, Paul Anderson is also the person who did Boogie Nights.
He did
movie I loved.
Yes. So Boogie Nights. He started with Hard 8 in '96, and then right in 1997 he did Boogie Nights, and that kind of burst him onto the scene because that was like this complete transcendent explosion of like filmmaking genius, in my opinion. Like
it showed us Mark Wahlberg had chops.
Right, and he was still Marky Mark back then. You know what I mean? And it's like people don't understand. Like I think Mark Wahlberg now owes his entire career to Boogie Nights, and I think he kind of rejects it now because he's a religious guy. I think, and I'm like,
wait, Paul Anderson or
no, Mark Wahlberg kind of is like, because he's so religious and he's so weird. He's like, I don't know about that one. I can't show it to my kids, and it's not this thing. I'm like, that movie made your career. That brought you out of like the underwear model like joke into an actual actor, and everything you have now is because of that movie.
Man, so you did Pain and Gain, okay? I'll dial it back.
Yes, Mark Wahlberg, you are an actor who is so happy to just be average, it's ridiculous. So when you actually do a movie that's of any sort of art and like you should be thankful and should not reject it. So the hell with you for rejecting this movie.
You know what's messed up? You know what's messed up? Historically. And even now, we really like Mark Wahlberg. We also are very, come on, from Boston, representing all, but we're also very well aware, dude, stay in your lane.
Yes.
Like, you know what I think? Well, I think he hasn't been asked to be in a Fast and Furious. I'm putting that out there. I think that's the beat.
He's happened making a couple extra $1 million over Michelle Williams for reshoots for movies.
Oh, jeez.
Boom! Anyways, cheap shots, sorry. But anyways, Phantom Thread. This movie is it's a little bit of a departure for Paul Thomas Anderson. He's usually doing these movies that are like these vast, lots of actors, lots of themes. His movies always seem to me, and the reason why I like him so much, are about really broken people, really trying to get along in the world, trying to find some connection. And in this movie, it's not really much different, but it's definitely more restrained. It's more like an indoor film chamber piece. This is the first movie in which he's actually been the director of photography. He's done all the camera work himself, and it's a brilliantly shot movie, and it's so beautiful. And it's really about a stuffy workaholic doing his best to get by. He has these muses that he kind of goes through. All these women. He's kind of like this womanizing workaholic guy in 1950s London.
Wait, you mean there were womanizers in the 50s?
Exactly.
Oh.
Still today, can you believe it?
That's truly
Exactly. So it kind of starts out with him like getting rid of one of his last the women that he is used as a muse that
What do you mean?
tries on these.
Getting rid of? Bumping her off?
Well, they're sitting there at breakfast basically like that, and she can't get through to him. She's actually talking to him, and he's completely ignoring her. Then when she leaves the room, his sister, who's the third character in the movie, Cyril, he's like, yeah, pretty much get rid of her. We dump her for me. You know, kind of like, let's recycle her and get another girl.
I'm sorry, he's a genius.
Exactly.
He does what he wants.
Exactly. So the next scene you
He is
see
through
him.
with you now.
It's like, excuse me. Well, personal message from the chef. You're basic.
Well, it's
You have
more
to
like,
go.
yeah, just it's
Basic.
more blunt than that. It's like, you know, peace, see you later, like that. So the next scene
She
you
just
see
walks
him.
up.
The next
Tosses
scene
her
you
out
see
the
him.
house.
He doesn't like jazz.
Yeah,
Fresh Prince.
that's what I
It's
pictured
like
in my head.
having a nice breakfast. Oh, you're going to the bathroom? I'll wait
Yeah.
here.
So we see him drive off, basically like that, and he goes to the English countryside, a little hotel, and then he meets this server girl, in which he quickly seduces her, and then you see him quickly with another woman, which he brings back, and then starts making this dress for her. And that is another girl just right away, like under his whim, that he wants to use as basically a human mannequin to try on all these dresses, and he's this really intense artist. And from there, if you've seen enough movies, you know this story, the way it's going, can go one of two ways. This guy can continue down the path of being this, you know, perfectionist, seeking like the ultimate form of art and destroying every relationship that he's been in, or he can have this girl kind of change him, show him how to live again and be this new man and show him what he's missing.
That's the way we expect
And
it
so
to go.
that's what we expect it to go.
Yeah.
This movie is both of those and none of those at the same time, and completely defies everything you've known about that kind of story trope, and it completely just blows that away in a way that's like shocking, like it's like subversive,
Wow.
and it's completely fascinating. And
There's
you're
some-
like,
some
it's
big claims.
it's like it blew me away. Like what? Like, you know, I'm still thinking about it, trying to like put it together. And obviously, I haven't seen it again, which I want to, because obviously I think it will reveal itself more as I watch it again and again. But there's so much to this movie, so much depth and everything, that going back and rewarding yourself with multiple viewings will be necessary. But I really enjoyed this movie. This is like something like more low key for him, which I said his movies kind of seem to be on a grander scale. A lot of characters, a lot of themes. His movies seem to be about everything and nothing at the same time. This one seems very specific, has something to do with artists, something to do with relationships. It's really fascinating and something I think everybody should check out. I don't know if people will like it right away, but if you give it some thought, if you give it you read into it a little bit, read some reviews, I think it's really a rewarding movie, and I think you should definitely check it out.
All right, well, let me get my inner Larry King on. So now, with everything you just said about this picture, do you think it can stand the test of time as a successful final vehicle for Mr. Day-Lewis?
You're not hunched over enough.
My shoulders can only dip so far. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's
I
weird
got
to
G's,
say.
My head hasn't sunk down into my sternum like that old man.
It's weird to see Daniel Day-Lewis kind of playing a normal human being, because he's usually so hidden behind different
makeup,
voices.
facial hair.
Yeah, you know, different,
Super
like
method.
really into character. This is like just him as an English dude being kind of a prick. And it's really refreshing because he's not overacting. There's no one scene where he's just like, you know, I drink your milkshake, you know, or like
that
selling
key
out or
scene.
stabbing somebody like Bill the Butcher. Like, this is just a man acting, you know what I mean? And I got to call out the role of Vicky Krieps, who plays Alma, his muse,
Wait, now,
because she is.
I've heard what people pronounce that creeps. It's Krieps.
I have no idea. It might be Krieps.
Okay.
I'm calling it Krieps because that's how I pronounce it last. I could be wrong, folks. However, she is kind of this newcomer burst on the scene, and she's going face to face with what is regarded as the best actor in the world, and she does a damn good job. She damn near steals scenes from him in the best way, and I think she goes toe to toe with the best, and she holds her own. Not just holds her own, she does a damn good job.
Now, do you think this is his official, or is he just
Oh man,
calling it off like he
I
usually
hope
does?
not. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I really hope not because he's that good, and I think the cinema it benefits from having him in movies.
Yeah.
And like I said, he has kind of said he's like I'm kind of done. You know what I mean? But I think like 4 or 5 years down the road, just like normal, if somebody presents him with a great script, like I really want to work with you, he might do it.
Yeah.
So I hesitate to say it is his last movie, but if he says so, I'm inclined to believe him. But at the same time, I hold out the fact that he might not be. Yeah.
I want to see him come back. But I want to see him do something way left field. Day Lewis in like a slapstick comedy.
Right. Yes. Like Dumb and Dumber or 2.
Like a rat race style chase movie.
Cast him as a superhero, which he'll never do.
Him and Woody Harrelson as a buddy cop something.
Oh,
I will watch that
Woody
movie.
Harrelson.
Wait. No, I want to see Daniel Day-Lewis and Christian Bale in something where they both have to wear fat in Medea Goes to the UK.
You know what's great about this movie is like it does highlight his comedy chops. Like this, he has great comic timing.
He does.
And there's a lot of things in this movie that are just like it's very subtle, but like the comedy is there, and a lot of it's like there's a breakfast scene where he's sitting down with this woman and she's buttering her toast, but it's done such a loud way that he's so annoyed by it, and you just see him every reaction you're just reading, you're like that's annoying as hell, and you're waiting for him to explode, and it's just done so beautifully, and like he's completely pure in that comic timing, just like everything is. It's like I said, it's a little bit of a departure from his last few movies, but it's a great send off. You know what I mean? And he is the best. So
I want to see him there. He's sitting across the table from her. Everything's fine, but her nose is whistling. And it just keeps getting louder and louder.
It's kind of like that, and like just like
faces are across
it's
the
like
table.
you think she's done buttering the toast, and she pours coffee, and you're like yeah, you're about to explode. It's
look at over there.
movie.
Oh, hungry.
No, this is great, man. I mean, I suggest it, and I don't know if you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, that's the thing, dude. It's just like I'm always excited to see these premise wise, and what they offer is never what I get from it.
Right.
And I'm just
right. I hear you, man. I hear you.
All right, but Phantom Thread, you do recommend it?
I do recommend it, 100%. Yes.
Thumbs up from Black Adam Willis, Phantom Thread. He says, check it out. I'll reserve judgment. I will be fair, and I'll see it for myself. We'll see what's going down.
All right.
But now I want to kick it over to Just Johnny.
You?
Because, my man, you got to check out the Fig Talks. Friends of the show, the